What's up YouTube, Young Soul, dropping another video, and today I wanted to talk about the popularity of fighting games. So recently we know that that there's been people claiming that Street Fighter V is not a good fighting game, or that other games are better, this, that, and the third. And I did a video recently saying that if you didn't believe that the content for Street Fighter V was worth the $60 at the time that it came out, I see where you're coming from. If you do believe it's worth the $60, I see where you're coming from. I did that video before. I'll try to put it in the description. I might be too lazy to do that, but if you've been a long time viewer, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, today, two big things happened. Number one, Street Fighter V added a whole bunch of story content. So now it obviously becomes more worth the price. Now, whether you think it's still worth 60 or not, that's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, as they add more content for no additional cost, the cost becomes more, you know, in relatively speaking, it becomes more worth it with more content, right? Okay, so but I'll leave that up to you. What this video is, so, and shout out to my man Jabari. He could take you through all the Street Fighter content. He's putting up all type of screenshots and videos and carrying on. So I'll let him go into it. I'm not a huge fighting game fan, as I said in the previous video about this. So I'll leave that to fighting game aficionados to break down. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and try to break things down for you that I, you know, am not the most versed at. So I'll leave that alone. But what I do find interesting, and I did the same video last year, I'm gonna do it this year now, is that amongst the fighting game enthusiasts, we're talking about this fight, you know, the fighting game tournament players, people who put, you know, crazy amounts of time into practicing and honing their abilities specifically in fighting games. There is an unbelievably overwhelming favorite game they want to play. Okay, now I know the naysayers and the haters are going to say, well, they're just jumping on to jump on. No. Listen, these guys play to win. They don't just play the thing. They play to win. Okay? And what I'm talking about is EVO. EVO 2016 is happening between July 15th and 17th, or July 15th and 18th, somewhere right in the middle of July. And as you've been looking at the screen the whole time I've been talking about this, I'm a Twitter guy, Evil Mr. Wizard. His name is Joey, and my Hispanic brothers and sisters can help me out in the last name. QR. I know the L's are silent, but apologies to my Spanish speaking friends. I'm butchering the name. QR, you could probably help me out with the phonetic pronunciation in the comment section. But he is the founding member of the EVO Championship. So I wanted to show this so that people don't think that I'm just taking a random person's tweet about this. Okay, so he is the founding member of the EVO Championship, and EVO, again, is the biggest video game championship tournament in the world. Okay, this is the biggest. This is the cream of the crop. This is the Oscars for video game fighting. This is the, you know, Oscars and the Grammys or whatever of video game fighting. The cream of the crop. Okay. And he just put out a tweet showing the registrants, the people who registered and paid their fees in order to play which fighting game in the tournament. And I'm sure there's people who could sign up for multiple ones or what have you, but here's the registrants. And if you see this here, you'll see Street Fighter V has 5,065 registrants. Okay. And registration closed June 30th, so it's done. This is the final tally. Street Fighter V, 5,065. Smash 4, 2637. Melee is 2350. Pokken Tournament is 1165. Guilty Gears XRD, Revelator, I believe, is 903. We have, oh gosh, I just had the name of the UMC VC3. I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but they have 770. Mortal Kombat X, obviously 707. Tekken 7, I believe that's Tekken 7, 543, and Killer Instinct 540. Now, for people who want to, for people primarily Xbox guys, who were claiming that Killer Instinct is far and above better in the mechanics of the gameplay. Not whether it has enough content to be worth the price, but the actual mechanics of the gameplay. It looks like the actual people who practice and hone their skills, for lack of a better term, full time, those guys seem to think differently. Because only 540 people joined for Killer Instinct, which might be good for Killer Instinct, that's fine. But Street Fighter V is in a class unto itself, if you haven't noticed. And so this pretty much wipes out the whole idea that, Street Fighter V nobody cares about. I mean, it might not be as big to the casual market, so it might not have the total number of sales as it would in the casual market. But by these figures here, it's obvious that the hardest core fighting fans, the people who, again, enter into it, and there's no cap. Let me just say this real quick before I could dispel some rumors before they even start. There's no cap to how many people could have registered as far as some of the lower numbers, like the Killer Instincts and the Mortal Kombats, and there's no, oh no, we're not taking more than 600 people for Killer Instinct. Had there been more, there would have been more. That's just the number of people who chose to register for Killer Instinct, 540. There was no no, we're only going to 600 and that's it. We're only going to 550, that's it. Nobody else can join. They didn't turn registrations away. Is my point. So don't give me that. Well, they had enough for Street Fighter, but the organization tamped down Killer Instinct. No. The second thing I want to address is, I know with some of these games like Street Fighter V, Guilty Gears, I know what people might be saying. Well, where does this event take place? If it's somewhere out in China or Japan or somewhere, then that's why Street Fighter and Guilty Gears XRD Revelator are so popular. It's because of that. No, sorry. I know for sure last year and this year, this current year, 2016, EVO's happening in Vegas. So we can stop with the whole, it's filled with nothing but Japanese people because it's in Japan, it's in Tokyo, it's in Shanghai or Hong Kong or somewhere that people might try to claim because Killer Instinct is more popular here in the States, because Americans like Xbox. We've all heard those stupid themes. Well, that dismantles that because it happened because the tournament again is happening in Vegas. So you can't get too much more in America than Vegas. Let's just be honest here. Okay? So I just wanted to go ahead and push back a little bit on people claiming that Street Fighter V, the actual fighting mechanics in Street Fighter V, can't hold up to Killer Instinct. Because again, the people who do this far more than you or I, unless you're one of the registrants who've been practicing to try to win the tournament. But us playing here and there and playing for fun and whatnot, even on ranked fights, you're still playing for fun. You're not playing in a tournament, cash prize tournament. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think in the comment section, and yeah, let me know if I'm saying the guy's not Joey C's name right, Joey QR, whatever. Let me know if I'm saying that right, because I'd like to get his name right. But let me know what you think in the comment section on these numbers, on how people try to suggest that Street Fighter V is not a technically good fighting game. Whether you think the content is worth the $60, again, I've done a video. You're right. Whatever you believe, that's fine. But to say that it's not a technically proficient game when you're actually fighting, I'll say the professionals. I'll call the fighting game tournament people, I'll call them the professionals because they're the ones who do it a lot more than the average person. They seem to disagree with you. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll holla back.